All right, welcome back to Casa.texpina. We're on build day number 162. My wife is going to be very happy today. I'm going to do the shortest intro I've ever done. The labor crew is on site. They're all working in different locations. As the subcontractors come in and start walking around and getting back into their spots, I will show you what everybody's doing. So let's get started. Coming around the front of the house, our painter Mr. Ricky is back on site. We missed him. He was out for a whole week. Okay, he's already started body filling on the new service gate, so he's gonna make sure and take good care of that Texas Star for us. And our foreman Mr. Marlin and his assistant there Mr. Carlito are starting to work on the a small repair for our gutter downspouts. They're taking work at that and looking at that. Let's go ahead and cruise on in here. Mr. Ben over here is using the wood saw to be able to cut some forms that they are starting to put the forms together for the top of the septic tank. So you see they're already building the forms. They're going to be fabricating the biga or the rebar here for the bond beams at the top. Mr. Allen's finishing up with the last bit of fiber cement board siding. So he's working on that up here just above the service window for the new hot dog stand. And the Kasupanan crew, Mr. Willie and Mr. Wilson, father and son team, are way down at the end on either side of the fence doing all the skim coating. So they're getting all those areas skim coated, fill the cement, get it ready for concrete. Mr. Alex and Mr. Pablo here are starting to move fill material, getting it back into the end of the site. We're going to start leveling this whole backyard area here. And Mr. Chuck, our electrician, is installing conduit here in the dirty kitchen area for the outlets that are going to be going above the countertops. We have one here and another one over here. So he's starting to work on those. So Team Kasupanan here is getting ready to grow a little bit. Mr. Willie is and his wife are expecting. Any word yet when the baby's gonna be coming in? Sometime this week, right?
Yeah.
So one day we're gonna come to work. Mr. Willie's not gonna be here, and we're gonna go, "Hey, baby's here." Our AC guys are here again today. They're going to be connecting the drain lines for all of where the units are coming out. So they have a small condensation drain line that's coming out, and they're going to start connecting those. All right, we'll catch on them a little bit more. All right, so our carpenters have been working on the breakfast bar. As you can see, it's no longer standing here. The engineer gave them a little direction, so we're going to try something a little different. Instead of being a whole lot of concrete, we're going to do it all with the 3/4 inch plywood, or the marine plywood, and the 2x4 studs, or in this case it's 1.5 by 3.5, but yeah, almost like the US style 2x4s. So they're going to do it with studs and plyboard. So that's what this is going to look like. What do you think?
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's going to be better. Not as much concrete means more space for us. All right, so the septic tank, they're starting to work on the top panels. You can see they've already got some of the rebar going around the sides. That's what you see right here. Looks like they used 16 millimeter rebar with 10 millimeter stirrups. And so they're working on the other the cross pieces here shortly. Right now it's got corrugated steel for the decking on the top with double C-channel ceiling joists, floor joists in this case. Still working on the beams. These are all the biga, the bond beams for around the chambers, the 3 chambers for the septic tank. So we're working on this. They're going to use corrugated steel for the bottom of the form. They're going to leave a space in the middle for the manhole. They'll cut that out, go back in underneath, and pull all the forms out from underneath once it's all formed, poured, and dried. So we'll keep on this as it keeps going. Let's go look out front. They've moved our water line that we had here temporary, put it around here on the side, and right now they are hydrotesting the water lines. So they got a pressure test on it, just looking to see how it's going, making sure that we don't have any leaks going through the rest of the house before they start putting in any fixtures. We got deliveries on both sides. This side over here, they were bringing in large sheets of full sheets of plywood, or the plyboard as they call it here. Over here on the front, I believe I just saw them delivering some of the furring strips that were required for the ceiling. Yes, that looks like furring strips. See, we've got furring strips. Mr. Ricky here is still working on the front gate. Fill all those little holes. Very tedious. All right, let's go see what's going inside the house. Whoops. Got to watch my feet. Oh, Mr. Al, the engineer's brother-in-law, brought this by today. 2 guesses what it is, and the first one doesn't count. So this is going to be interesting. A little later on. Okay, working in the dark in here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're working in the dark. Mr. Alex is pulling off the forms from the hallway half bath countertop for the lavatory, for the sink. So if you hear a big crash, you know what it is. All right, Mr. Allen has finished with the fiber cement board wall cladding. We are done with the installation of said wall cladding. So the next step is going to be skim coating and painting at some point. Now here for the service window, they do still have to do precast molding, which looks like this. This one's just going to be long and skinny, wide and skinny. So back on the septic tank, putting a lid on this thing. We've got the covers on each, and they've got the forms made for each manhole. What they're doing is poking a hole in the cover in the corrugated steel, and they're going to put a piece of wire through it to tie it in place so it doesn't float up when they pour concrete on it. Okay, and Mr. Alvin is one of the foremen from another project. Their project completed, so he's been here this week. He is assisting with the rebar fabrications, making all the biga, the top bond beams. So up here in the attic space, our 2 plumbers have been working re-plumbing the supply lines for our solar hot water heater. Instead of coming up directly through the floor straight up over here, what we have done is reroute it to where it rises up on the trusses. So it'll come up, and as I back up here, this is our cold water supply. This is the cold water supply going up, and we'll poke a hole through here. The gyro, or the tinsmiths, will poke a hole up through the ceiling, through the roof, to where the hot water heater is going to be placed on the top, And this is the hot water return. So once it comes out of the hot water heater, it'll go here and then be distributed through the rest of the house. I asked them to put the gate valve here on the inside, more easily accessible for me since 200 plus pounds does not need to be walking on a big roof. This is much more accessible for me. longitudinal bars put in. The next thing will be the lateral bars going this way for the support going across the top of the chambers. They'll probably work on this tomorrow as we are getting close to quitting time. So as I mentioned earlier, the plumbers did leak test both the main house water loop, the cold water loop, and the one that is here for the solar. Both of these have been tested, no leaks, we're good to go. The carpenters are still working on rebuilding the breakfast bar and adjoining cabinetry that's going to go here. This is the countertop. Again, they took this out. Engineer said it will be strong enough with the lumber to hold all of this in place. So that's what we're going with. I kind of like it. It gives me, it should give Emmy and I more space underneath the cabinets. Out here on the front, we did get 2 more boxes of these stone-clad tilings. They're in the garage area. So whenever Mr. Jojo breaks away from the septic tank, they're going to come up 2 more levels, 2 courses up higher, all the way around. That's per the engineer. He said for some reason this just looks too low. He said it's being overshadowed by the columns on the front of the house, so he'd like it to the more focus to be on the front porch, not the fence that's back here behind us. So I didn't notice until I came in this morning that this grill actually got put in place yesterday. So the only 2 grills that are not in place yet are the one down here where Mr. Pablo's at, and they're still using that for ferrying supplies, and the one on the opposite corner way down on that end. Same reason, they're using it to ferry supplies and dirt inside the front yard. So all right, it's yabba dabba do time. The guys are trying to put a lid on it, so we should be able to put a lid on this tomorrow. We've got majority of the rebar done. That was the big push today. Carpenters are completely reworking the breakfast bar, so we'll have to watch that over the next couple days as well. All right, yeah, so if y'all like today's video, please give us a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of these videos, hit the casa.texpina star right over here, and you'll be subscribed. Hit the bell icon just below the view screen. You'll be notified of our next video upload for your viewing pleasure. So until we see you again tomorrow, have a great afternoon and God bless.